Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and today I'm going to give some of my impressions of the new iPhones that were just announced. Now, this is kind of an awkward setup. I don't usually film my face like ever, but I don't have the phones on hand for B-roll, so I just kind of figured this would be easier. Sorry if the audio quality or anything's a little weird. I've just got a strange setup right now. Anyways, new iPhones. That's pretty cool. So we have the iPhone XS, XS Max, and the XR. Yeah. They look cool, I guess. I'm a little disappointed with the XS. I was hoping there would be more that was new, but the XR on the other hand looks extremely good. So I'm just going to give some of my thoughts on both of these phones, which one I'm going to be buying, and which one I think you should buy, depending on the type of person you are and what you want from a phone. So the iPhone XS is basically the iPhone X, except an S version. You know, it's going to be faster with the A12 chipset. It's going to be pretty similar in the camera department, build quality, slightly better battery. There isn't really much to it other than that there is now a bigger option called the XS Max. Besides that, if you already have an iPhone X and don't feel like you need a bigger phone, there isn't much point to upgrade. You could, I mean, I'm going to be, but for the most part, I would say the average person really doesn't need to. As previously expected, the iPhone X has been discontinued. It is no longer on Apple's website, and of course has been replaced by the XS and XR, although you can still find the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, 7, 7 Plus on there, which is nice. We also have seen the death of the iPhone SE and iPhone 6S, both of which are gone from Apple's iPhone page on their site. To be honest, I kind of thought they might keep the SE around, but obviously they decided not to, and that's okay, although I know it will come as a disappointment to some that they didn't replace it. You never know, one could happen next year, but I think the XR is really kind of its spiritual successor in the sense that it's a budget iPhone, more or less. So the iPhone XS, yeah, more of a disappointment than anything to me. I was really hoping they would drop the price, but they didn't. It's still at $999 for the smaller model and $1099 for the Max. It's so expensive, and it still comes with the regular charger, at least as far as we know. They didn't mention anything different. And I mean, yeah, I was just kind of hoping for more, I guess. I'm still going to buy the XS, I think, but let's quickly talk about the XR. The XR is the iPhone 5C reincarnated. It is very, very cool looking. I love the extra colors. So it's kind of like the iPhone X. It looks like the iPhone X, but it has aluminum sides as well as a ton of color options. The blue, especially to me, looks so good. That would be a really tempting phone for me if, and this is a big if, it had an OLED panel, but it doesn't. It has LCD in order to keep the costs down. And the costs are down at $750 versus the iPhone XS at $1,000. So this is definitely a more budget-oriented phone, at least as much as an iPhone can be budget-oriented. I think that this is a decent deal for the most part. I mean, it's just as fast as the XS. The camera's almost as good, except it's missing the telephoto lens. It can still do portrait mode shots, which is very cool. I don't know, it's a very good phone. I was surprised on how many of the good features it actually had. I didn't think it would have portrait mode, for example. I suspected it might have less RAM, but they haven't said anything about that if it does. So I think this is going to be the go-to option for a lot of people. And you know, it's not like the 5C in the sense that it wasn't premium, like it was kind of cheap feeling. The 5C was plastic and didn't really have any premium colors. I mean, it had white, but it was still plastic, right? This one has a space gray, it has a white. You know, it still looks pretty normal when it comes to iPhones. You could definitely get one of those and people would think you have the newest iPhone. But if you feel like being a little more colorful, that's an option too. And I think that is the sweet spot. I'm really impressed with the XR, not so much with the XS, but what am I gonna do personally? Well, I'm probably going to buy the XS, and I know. It's expensive, but I bought the X last year, and I've kind of committed myself to, you know, having the best iPhone. And the X for me, as much as I like the X, I think it's time to move on from it. I definitely wasn't a fan of the battery life. I've been using the iPhone 8 Plus. I don't see where it is right now, but I've been using the iPhone 8 Plus for a couple weeks now. The battery is so much better on it. Oh, that's another thing about the XR. The battery is an hour and a half better than the 8 Plus. Holy cow. When it comes to the iPhone XS sizes, there's obviously the bigger Max version. I would be buying the smaller one. I think the XS Max is A, too expensive, and B, I don't think that the bigger size is something I really need. After using the iPhone 8 Plus for, you know, a while now, it's nice. It's nice to have the bigger screen, but it's so big and I have pretty small hands. I just think this size is fine for me. I don't think I need anything bigger. The better battery would be really nice, but only an hour and a half over the 10. Like, that's a good improvement. but it's not a great improvement, so I think I'm just going to go for the smaller XS. Anyways, I am more excited about the XR, but I'm still going to get the XS, at least at first, because I just don't know if I can go back to an LCD panel. So I'm going to buy the XS, I'm going to buy it, pre-order it Friday, and I'm going to use it for the month, and then I'm going to decide whether or not I want to keep it or if I want to move to the XR when that comes out. If I want to keep it, great, I'll just keep using it. If I don't, then I will probably just sell it on Craigslist and buy the iPhone XR. Hopefully I won't lose too much money if I do that. Reselling is never really a good idea a month after the phone came out, but whatever. So that's the plan, you know? I would just go straight for the XR, but I really would like a new phone right now. I've already listed the iPhone 10, so... But anyways, what iPhone should you buy? Because this is me personally. Like, who cares about me? I have this YouTube thing. I'm way different than everybody else when it comes to normal standards of what iPhone you should buy. If that made any sense at all, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. You should buy the iPhone XR easily. That's an easy answer. If you don't mind having an LCD panel still, if you had the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 7 and you're used to that, you're not coming from the 10, then I think the XR is a very, very good option at a very good price point. $750. That's hard to argue with for a brand new iPhone that is top of the line. Like, it's really not much worse except for the camera slightly and the lack of OLED display. And it's still going to be a very good display. I mean, Apple's Retina displays always look good. So that is my recommendation for most people. That one's not available. I think pre-orders start October 19th, so that's going to be a little later. I probably won't get one of those unless I decide I don't like the XS very much, and then I will. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me and for what I think you guys should do. If you have an iPhone 10 and you want to upgrade, then the XS is probably a good option, especially since it has the dual SIM card thing now, if that's something that interests you. If you missed any of this, so you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, all these specs, make sure you watch my keynote recap video that I posted earlier today. It went over basically everything. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Basically, the XR is a very good deal. XS, it's an upgrade, it's an S upgrade, it's really small, that's not a shock. It'll still be a great phone, probably one of the best, definitely up there with the Note 9 and probably the Pixel 3 and all those. So that's my take on it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. You can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, links down below. Comment your thoughts down below on what iPhone you might buy, if you're gonna buy any of them. Which one do you think is better, the XS, the XS Max, the XR? Just let me know what you guys are thinking. With that all being said, I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and I will see you all next time.